Okay, so with so much coverage on coronavirus, our children most likely have heard something about it.
And although they may be exposed to some information, right, it is important that you make sure you ease their fears. Here with advice on how to talk to our kids about coronavirus is pediatric mental health expert and psychologist, Dr. Roseann Capanna-Hodge. So good morning to you.
Yeah,
Good morning.
It is hard to ignore the fact that this is happening right now. You hear it everywhere on the news, on the radio, on social media, walking down the street. So how do you begin that conversation? If you have young little ones who are saying, you know, one of our producers said he came home and said, am I going to die?
Yeah. So, I mean, and it's not just young kids who are worried, it's all kids and us adults too. So you start as a parent, you start talking to your kid in a way that you know will comfort them and that they'll hear you. You want to put down your phone and you want to really have conversation. You want to pay attention to their body language when they're talking to you. Do they look upset? Do they look like they're squeamish? Are they tearful? Are they crying? And you just have a developmentally appropriate conversation. Always start with, what do they know? Do they know, say, what do you know about the coronavirus? What are your friends telling you? With young children, stick to basic facts. Don't get into too much technical information. And it's really important of all ages to reassure safety.
I think that's really important because my sons are 4 and younger, and I haven't even talked to them about coronavirus, but I have said we've got to wash our hands a whole lot now. And I didn't know if I should go even further in that conversation, but I don't know if they're fully going to grasp it.
You know, so kids, again, meeting kids where they're at in their developmental age, you know, it's appropriate to say to a 4-year-old, you know, there's a bad virus going around. You know, sometimes, do you remember, honey, when you got that tummy bug and you weren't feeling good? And they'll say, yeah, that was stinky or whatever it is. And then say to them, let's talk about what we can do. Let's talk about washing hands. With younger kids, you want to actually practice with them.
Oh, yeah.
Show them, you know, take that 20 to 30 seconds. They say, sing happy birthday 2 or 3 times and really say, you know, we want to wash here, we want to wash there, and tell them not to touch their eyes and their mouth.
And I think it really begins with the parent, though, and the adult. But it's difficult because some adults are freaking out themselves about it, right? So then you have teenagers, for example, who are like, okay, I'm going to turn to social media and TikTok. The World Health Organization actually trying to get information out using apps like TikTok. Over 25 million views right now of videos. Is that a good way to get the information out to children?
Well, you know, certainly teenagers are on social media, and so are adults. And a lot of adults, social media is the primary source of their news. So it's great that the World Health Organization is putting accurate information, because boy, is there a lot of misinformation. And I think it's really important with your teens, your kids of a younger age, to actually find out what they know, because there is so much misinformation about, you know, the death rates, how you're contracting it. And I think the key is to really empower individuals, but children in particular, that they can use prevention, which is hand washing, eating really good, healthy foods, fruits, vegetables, fats that help power up and create a barrier to health issues.
But when schools close down, we've seen 2 do that in our area, that creates a higher level of anxiety. So how do you tackle that?
Yeah, so, you know, in these particular cases of schools closing down, they're being preventative. So I think you need to reassure your children that, listen, they're really taking your health into consideration and we're being preventative. And, you know, kids, when you check in with them and you have conversations without being completely freaked out yourself, they are able to be reassured and calmed. And I think that's important too.
And you have to realize that they are looking to you. And so if you are running to the store and coming home with this extra large stock of supplies here, like you're going to hunker down for days, it begins with you. Because they're looking at you and say, well, why are we, if you're not freaking out, Ma and Dad, why are we stocking up on all these supplies?
Right? You got to balance that out. Because you do have to protect yourself. And some people are saying stock up.
Absolutely. And, you know, again, it's all about conversation. You know, all of our relationships are based on conversations. And we are, our job as parents is to create happy, independent kids, and so by talking them to about their fears, but controlling yours as well. And you can have a balanced approach, like, I'm stocking up on a couple extra supplies just to keep our family healthy, not because the world is ending.
Doctor, thank you.
Don't say the world's ending. That's never a good thing.
No, it's never a good thing.
I appreciate you coming in. Thank you for the advice as well. And for up-to-minute information on coronavirus, don't forget, you can get it all laid out on pix11.com/coronavirus. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.